Hello, my friends. Welcome back in. It's episode 6. Not only am I super excited to find out what happened to Manchester City after we wiped them out, like did they pull the Man United and win a back-to-back title despite having been wiped out? But I'm really interested to see if Chelsea has made the return to the Premier League from the Championship, or has their reputation battered them. They are not in the upcoming season, my friends. Leeds is. Congratulations, Leeds fans. Wolves, Cardiff. Oh no, what has happened to Chelsea? Let's look. Okay, Liverpool has won the league. Congratulations, Liverpool. Is it under Jurgen? It is. Yes. Okay, Man City dropped to second. 79 points. That's 12 points off. That's a pretty significant drop off from where they were last season when they won the league on 92 points. Man United on 65 points last season. They were on 76. So they've managed a third place. They've improved their standing even though they had fewer points. And then Tottenham drops to to fourth. And then Arsenal, who were in 11th, have jumped back up to 5th. They've made that Europa League spot. Where is Chelsea? What has happened to Chelsea? Leeds, Burnley, West Brom. 15th. 61 points. Oh, let's take a look. 26-12 on the reputation, has not recovered. They have £709 million in the bank, my friends, and 202 million in the transfer budget. They sold another 110 million pounds in players. Oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. And brought in 3.7. I thought they were going to stabilize here, but look at the massive sell-off. Ross Barkley for 15 million. There's an 11.5, a 9.25. Zappacosta, 17 million, 4.9. Another almost 15. And they have not been, only 3.7 million, and they have not been able to replace. Will they go down? Will they go down again after finishing 15th in the championship? Let's see how close it is. So they're on 61 points? Okay, they're 16 points clear of relegation, but with all those outs, can they recover? Oh my. Okay, let's go back and look at Man City. Since we wiped them out, let's see where they're at. The reputation is back to 2 stars. So what is that? 39.74. They've got 264 million in the bank with 137 million in the transfer budget. They sold 88 million, brought in 52 million. Really one big signing, but at least they were able to get that big signing. So maybe that's an indicator. Or is that the end of the season? No, that was before we wiped them out. So once we wiped them out, they brought in a free. And once we wiped them out, okay, so 30.5, just call it 36. They still sold 50 million afterwards after being wiped out. So Herrera, Francisco, Phil Foden, Castillo. Is there a really big one, or is it just a bunch of onesie twosies, 5 to 10 million each? So that's interesting. And then they've only brought in a free. So are they going to struggle? Look at New York FC. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, right? Parent club, all that good stuff. Julian Brandt, but that was before we wiped them out. So will they be able to recover, or will they have a similar fate as to Chelsea, where they've got all of this money, but they can't convince someone to come play for them? That will be curious to see next time. We'll check out Man United, because it's been a couple seasons since we wiped them out. Okay, they brought on 129 million. They sold 29 million. And then thus far this season, they're bringing in 21.5. So it would seem that Man United is going to be back to their typical ways, right? To where they're going to start recovering. And they have, right? They finished third. What was it? Yeah, third this season. So They seem to have stabilized. Arsenal, though, I'm curious because that 2 seasons in a row at 11th, and they finally jumped up here. They brought in 71 million, sold 18 million. Let's see. Okay, 18 and a quarter, 7.75, 20 million. So some bigger signings. And then this is probably more like we sold the players we wanted to rather than players forcing our hand because, they're unhappy. Back to 48-12, decent enough reputation. They got 136 million in the bank. Back to 2.5 star. I would imagine that's the end of Arsenal's troubles. Let's look at Tottenham here. Okay, they're bringing in 18.5 this upcoming season. They brought in 26.5, sold 17. That's not a lot of spending. What does their bank account look like? They've only got 20 million in the bank. That's interesting. And they've got, 3 million in the transfer budget. So they really don't have a lot of room to... I mean, they've spent their transfer budget already. So maybe it's that they're not getting as much income from sponsorships and stuff like that. But again, you would imagine 26.5 in, 17 out. Is that mostly them wanting to do this, or has their hand been forced with another 18.5 coming in? So we'll have to keep an eye on Tottenham as well to see how they get on. But Chelsea, oh my. Okay, all right, so let's go take a look at Liverpool. Unfortunate. This hurts as a Liverpool fan. 78-12 or 21 down to 1. Finances, what are they starting out with? 45 million in the bank. That's really not a lot in comparison to some of these other clubs. And 58 million in the transfer budget. We're going to take them down to 0. And we'll have to see how they get on next episode. This is a little bit shorter of an episode, I guess. I am curious to see how it's kind of looked from an awards standpoint. Player of the Year, Bernardo Silva. Man City. Okay, Golden Glove. Liverpool, Wolves, and West Ham. Congratulations, West Ham. English Players of the Year, Man City. Young Player of the Season, Tottenham. Okay. 5 goals, 14 assists, and 36. I mean, sure. Lacazette with 25 goals and 32. Not bad, my friend. Newcastle having 17 goals and 31. Okay, all right. But you can kind of see the team that has won the league isn't always the one with like the best manager or in terms of the awards or the top goal scorer, but it's usually in the top. But Wolves kind of sneaking in there a couple of years ago. But my goodness, Kevin De Bruyne, is he still with the club? Yeah, of course he is. 104 caps. He's 32. Team of the Year, Man United, Arsenal. Yeah, it's all the usual suspects. Nobody, not that they're not exciting, but there's none of like the smaller clubs coming in and saying like, oh, we've got players too. So I cannot believe Chelsea are stuck down here. Let's take a look at their players. Who do they have in their values? Do they have... Okay, their highest valued player, 26 million, is Harry Wilson. And Dendoncker is at 23 million. Adelaide is 17 and a quarter. Severovic is 12, and then it drops off pretty significantly after that. Let's look at... I don't know if this is their actual first team because it looks like they've got some gaps here. That's probably not good. But they've got a backup right now at left back. I don't know if that's because of injury or they've sold somebody, but again, somebody worth 16,500 euros is in the starting lineup right now, potentially for Chelsea. That is an ugly situation. I think you could very fairly argue. And I missed the 22K from the, what is that, the right back? Yeah. Oh my, they have got some problems. So this to me has become the interesting part of the experiment, is the fall of Chelsea. And then again, will the same thing happen to, say, Tottenham? Because it looked like, they don't have as much money. Same thing with Liverpool. They don't have as much money sitting in the bank to maybe overpay to get somebody to come in. Will that influence the situation in the Premier League? I cannot believe they finished 15th. I am just stunned. I'm sure you can tell. But I think we'll wrap up the episode there, my friends. If you have enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like button. It really does help out. A new experiment series. Check out this stuff over here. Leave a comment. Let me know. Do you think Chelsea can come back up this season or next season or in the next 5 seasons, or are they doomed? And what do you think is going to happen with the other teams? We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.